Hi, I wanted to take a moment to talk about something that's near and dear to my heart, and one of the reasons why I'm running to be the next governor of California. And that reason being advocating for the working class. I felt that now, more than ever, the working class is under attack. And while this has traditionally been a Democratic issue that most Democrats have advocated for, I've seen a shift and a turn here in the recent years, specifically in the last election cycle, where Democrats no longer care about the working class in this country. They've moved on, and they advocate for their lobbyists, they advocate for the media, Hollywood, big tech, you name it. They don't care no longer about the person going to the factory or working at the company, working the shift, and coming home to their families. And the result has been what I call, it's a term that I created, called labor cleansing, which basically is the government willingly and willfully trying to set out to shut down or interfere in an industry and ultimately causing its closure. The best example I can give you is the Keystone Pipeline, where 10,000 union workers were slated to start working on the Keystone Pipeline extension. And as we all know, fast forward, President Biden came in and shut down the pipeline. And if that's his prerogative and that's the decision that he wanted to make for the country, that's his decision to make. However, one thing I should make is what he should have done, in my opinion, should have been he should have traveled to North Dakota, Montana, and South Dakota and communicated with the employees, to the laborers, and said, hey, this is what I'm going to do. And more importantly, possibly offered them some sort of relief in terms of being able to bridge between that job that they were expecting to have and the next job they were going to find to replace the job that they lost. I just cannot believe, and it's unfathomable, but not surprising, unfortunately, that you have these employees who had to come home to their families. And where are they now? Do they have a roof over their head? Are they able to feed themselves? Or are they able to support their families? And unfortunately, that is exactly what's happening here in California. We've had 300 companies have left this state. 300. 300 compañías se han ido del estado. Okay? I can't say it more simple. And the people that have been most impacted have been the laborers of this state. A lot of them are Latino. Sí, Latinos, tú, yo, y la resta de la gente. But along with that, we've had obviously Asian Americans, we've had Black Americans, Native Americans, yes, white people, of course, and just everyone else, all Californians have been impacted by this. And Governor Newsom has stood by and done absolutely nothing. 300 companies have left the state. So you have to ask yourself, is this something that Governor Newsom simply did and knew about it? In other words, is he willfully doing this, or is it his incompetence? And he's just not very smart and doesn't know how to solve a problem. And to be fair, yes, some people get stuck and maybe they don't know quite what to do. But we all know that he has, whether he himself is smart or not, remains to be seen. But what we do know is that he has people around him that could tell him, hey, why don't we reduce our taxes for certain industries? Why don't we reduce our regulations for certain industries? You know, you start thinking of trying to find a solution to the problem because it's clear that these democratic policies for the last 10 years have not worked. During Governor Brown's, put things in context, during Governor Brown's tenure as governor, 300 companies left the state. And I still remember because one of the companies was the Toyota motor sales headquarters here in my hometown of Torrance, California. And when Toyota relocated, I still remember Governor Brown, saying very famously, well, they just didn't want to try. So, and this is the issue at the heart of this problem. These politicians think companies have to somehow adapt to this high-regulated, high-taxed state of California. And they don't. They have freedom. They can relocate. They can move. And a lot of people are at their breaking point. And we've seen that breaking point accelerate during Governor Newsom's tenure, that 300 companies have left in his first 3 years. And it could easily reach 500 by the time of the election, during the general election later this year. And if he's reelected, you could conceivably say about 1,000 companies will have relocated out of the state. So I feel there's a very clear distinction Either we continue going down the same track and people keep getting put on the unemployment line and losing their jobs, or we steer a different course.